Study abroad and international travel opportunities continue to grow increasingly popular with college and university students. Though international travel presents a variety of risks for student travelers, their program leaders, and the institutions sponsoring the programs, these risks can be significantly reduced upon giving careful consideration to program planning, preparation, logistics, resources, and communication. Hi, I'm Susie Johnson from the Office of Risk Management at Iowa State University. Our department provides risk management consultation and resources to the ISU community to help students, faculty, and staff meet their goals while minimizing the risk of loss. In this segment, we'll discuss some key risk management components to consider for planning a safe, memorable, and enriching study abroad experience. When planning your program, and while interacting with students while abroad, it can be helpful to remember that students, in general, are likely to be adventurous, curious, independent, trusting, risk-taking, and likely overseas for the first time. Of course, not all students exhibit these characteristics. Some will exhibit the opposite. One thing is safe to assume. You, the program leader, have significantly more life experience, subject matter expertise, and familiarity with study abroad. You are your students' primary resource on this life-changing trip. Managing risk is often about checking items off on a list, ensuring you're prepared and have appropriate plans and backup options in place. Study abroad is no different. Many checklists and risk assessments exist to help you think through the various aspects of planning and leading a study abroad program. Be sure you consider some of the following: appropriate transportation, to, from, and while in country, on-site and for planned excursions, medical and health issues of your student participants and yourself, contracting with service providers, likely handled by an ISU purchasing agent, appropriate housing arrangements, recreational activities and group excursions, issues or concerns specific to the location in which you're staying, plans for communication, which might include mobile phones or possibly even satellite phones, depending on your location, plans for emergency response to issues such as severe weather, civil unrest, or serious medical issues for a participant, how you'll report incidents to ISU and/or local authorities, student conduct and your role in managing individual and group behavior, expectations regarding alcohol and other drug use, and a clear understanding of the cultural and political issues of importance in the areas you'll be visiting. United Educators, a company that provides liability insurance and risk management services to its member institutions, has created an excellent resource entitled Checklist for Leaders of Short-Term International Programs. We are showing a couple of snapshots here, but for access to the full checklist or to view the United Educators online training modules and related resources, contact the ISU Office of Risk Management. One excellent way to manage risk for your program and set minds at ease for students, parents, your department, and yourself is to provide clearly written documentation. In most cases, this should include a detailed itinerary with foreseeable risks and hazards identified and explained, pre-departure and on-site orientation information, safety plans, for example, locations of fire escapes and the local authorities, crisis response plans, a phone tree or other communication plans, and an explanation of who will be in charge if you or others are unable to continue with the group. Often this next in command may be one of your most senior or experienced students, even if only temporarily until another ISU faculty or staff member can arrive on site. This scenario, along with most of the other issues for which you'll designate plans, is unlikely to happen, but providing written guidelines for the what-ifs allows the whole group to move forward with confidence. Just as it is in our daily lives on campus and at home, effective communication is key to the success of a study abroad program. A few key tips include staying in close contact with at least one or more people from the group at all times and not traveling alone, designating emergency meeting locations in case phone or other communication becomes impossible, sharing of all group members' international mobile phone numbers, and reminding students that they are subject to the laws of the country in which they're traveling, which may well be different than the laws to which they're accustomed at home. If you aren't already, while planning your program, it will be good to familiarize yourself and your students with ISU's student disciplinary regulations, known as the Code of Conduct. This is found in the ISU Policy Library and contains information about expectations, processes, and actions. Additionally, it's important to look at the student conduct information available on the Education Abroad Committee website. This site includes forms for student conduct warning and dismissal, information about student alcohol use, dealing with sexual harassment and assault, a phone tree template, and more. Your role as program director during study abroad extends beyond being the instructor. You also take on a student affairs role, watching for signs of distress in your students. This may mean taking notes of students who seem unusually stressed, isolated, non-compliant, hypersocial, or behaving in ways that are out of the ordinary. It will be helpful to keep notes about such issues so you can refer back to them as needed or provide further details if an incident occurs that requires documentation. It is appropriate and expected that you'll be providing tactful support and make reasonable accommodations for your students. Do not, however, minimize or ignore a situation hoping it will go away, but also do not offer support beyond your expertise. You're not expected to be a nurse, therapist, or legal counsel. Many international programs are completed each year without any medical emergencies or other serious incidents, but some of these scenarios do arise, and it's most helpful to keep a few points in mind. When thinking through your plans for emergency and incident response, consider some of the following. Who you'll be able to call for assistance, whether it's the CISI emergency number, ISU Study Abroad staff, or your college's international support staff or dean's office, or other resources on the ISU campus. You are well supported by other professionals, so don't hesitate to ask for assistance or feedback when you need it. Never leave a student behind to deal with a medical issue or other emergency on his or her own. Make arrangements to have a co-director stay with a student in need, while another leader continues activities with the group. If a faculty or staff member isn't available, look to your more immediate, experienced, and responsible students for leadership, while communicating back to your colleagues at ISU that more support may be needed. Cultural Insurance Services International, or CISI, is a plan designed specifically for ISU students and employees traveling abroad. In addition to providing health insurance, the CISI plan covers medical evacuation and repatriation, as well as security evacuations should they become necessary. Unlike many domestic insurance plans, the CISI plan pays 100% of covered expenses without requiring a deductible, and the Team Assist portion of the plan provides travelers with worldwide 24-hour emergency telephone assistance service. To read more about ISU's CISI plan, navigate to isuabroad.iastate.edu and click on the Insurance Abroad link in the left-hand navigation. From there, you'll find a list of CISI program information, including a participant FAQ, International Insurance 101, policy information, a CISI cheat sheet, and more. CISI plan information is available online through a portal that allows participants to print an ID card, view the policy brochure and other applicable documents, find doctors and country-specific information, research travel safety information, and review policy exclusions. The CISI portal also contains a link to a consulate letter and claim form, contact information for emergencies and benefit or claim questions, contact information for English-speaking doctors in your area of travel, and a security assistance website with up-to-the-moment security and safety-related tools and information. For all emergency situations, seek appropriate help immediately. Then, contact CISI as soon as possible so that a case can be opened and additional arrangements can be made in a timely manner. Prior to departure, be sure you have ready access to CISI's emergency and claims phone numbers and that you understand how to use this important service. As a final step related to student and employee incidents and injuries, please report these occurrences to ISU via the Office of Risk Management website. In the left-hand navigation, you'll see a link called Report an Incident or Claim, taking you to a page where additional options are listed. This report provides the university with important information needed to investigate liability further if necessary, to provide support or resources when needed, and, in the case of an employee injury while on work status, processing of the first report of injury documentation necessary for workers' compensation. If you have any questions about incident or injury reporting, please contact the Office of Risk Management at 515-294-7711 or by email orm@iastate.edu. Thank you for this tremendously important role you've chosen to fulfill. Study abroad program directors facilitate what is often the opportunity of a lifetime for their students. Thank you for your commitment to the health, safety, and security of these participants in your study abroad program. Have a wonderful trip.